Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Samantha and today I'm going to be sharing with you my base routine. So how I apply my makeup, what products I use, and also I'm going to be sharing with you 4 brand new New Year Skin Saviour primers from Revolution, so I'm really excited about those. Also, I'm going to be sharing with you my brow routine tomorrow, so I'm going to split my Get Ready With Me over 4 videos. So today is all about the base, tomorrow is my brow routine, and I know it's a few of you will be very interested in that. It's my most requested video, I believe, because you are so interested in my brows and you can see now what I'm working with. So that's tomorrow, and then the next day will be an eyeshadow routine and then a lipstick, not a routine, but it will be a lipstick look on the 4th day. So that's everything that I want to share with you for now. I think we're going to get straight into the brand new products from Revolution. These products launch on the 2nd of January 2019. Can't quite believe where 2018 has gone, but there it is. We're now going into 2019. The very first product is the Pore Blur Primer. It's a blur and prime primer. Now it says boost your base with 4 Revolution Skin Pick Me Up primers that will address your skin concerns and give you a post-holiday vitamin boost. We're definitely going to need that after all the partying and all the eating that we're going to be doing over the next couple of weeks. So this one looks like this. So it's like a peachy coloured container. You are getting in here a net weight of 0.95 fluid ounces or 28 ml. On the back it gives you the ingredients as usual with Revolution's products, and this one is cruelty free and vegan, and I know that you're all going to be pleased about that. This retails for £6, and like I say, it will be available on the 2nd of January 2019. It says that we understand enlarged pores can be a nightmare. These pesky holes deep rooted in the skin can drive us crazy. Reduce and minimise the appearance of pores with Revolution Pore Blur Primer. This is your answer to a poreless and smoother looking base. Apply the silky gel formula to the face after moisturising and before foundation. The Peach Primer will blur the appearance of pores and set makeup in place all day. It contains antioxidant rich vitamin E to help nourish your skin. So that sounds fantastic. So that's the first one. So this will retail for £6. Then we move on to this one, and it is the Colour Correct, and it says Correct and Fix Primer. Again, 0.95 fluid ounces or 28 ml of product, and this one is the green version. And again, ingredients and the fact that it's cruelty free and vegan is on the back, and again this one is £6. So what it says about this one is, if you suffer with redness, breakouts or broken blood vessels, Revolution Colour Correct Primer will be your skin's best friend. Certainly mine, because I've got a few blemishes and I've got some redness. Not too much, but a little bit. This green liquid formula helps to balance and neutralise any red tones, resulting in a neutral base for makeup application. It contains vitamin B3, known for its multitasking skin benefits, including reduction in wrinkles, uneven skin tone, acne and hyperpigmentation. These are also paraben free, cruelty free and vegan, obviously, as I've mentioned. So that's that one. Then we move on to the Revolution Hydrate Primer. This one again is £6 and it comes in the white container. So Hydrate, again 0.95 fluid ounces or 28 ml. I hope I'm saying that correctly. It's a little bit blurry for me. So there it is. That one, and again cruelty free and vegan on the back along with the ingredients. What it says about this one is if you've indulged over the holidays, this primer is the perfect skin pick-me-up. A fast absorbing lightweight water-based primer that will inject your skin with vitamin E and hyaluronic acid, wow, to instantly hydrate skin. The white liquid goes on clear, sinking into the skin, resulting in a glowing complexion. Wow, it sounds absolutely fantastic. Wow, love that. And then the last one is the Revolution Mattify Primer. Again, £6. Again, 0.95 fluid ounces, 28ml. And this time it comes in the black packaging. So it's like that. Again, on the back, ingredients, and that it's cruelty free and vegan. And I hope I said that it would be £6. So this one says shine will be gone. A clear gel primer that will face shine ahead on, sorry, let me start again. A clear gel primer that will face shine head on, I'm making things up now, for a complete matte finish. If you want to control your glow, use this primer as your base and add highlighter to the areas of your face you would like to add radiance to. So contains antioxidant rich vitamin E to help nourish your skin. So again, paraben free, cruelty free and vegan. So they'll be available to buy from the 2nd of January at revolutionbeauty.com, and it says superdrug.com as well. So how exciting is that? So of course these are what I'm going to be starting off with. I really wanted to share those with you in this video. It makes sense because obviously I'm talking about my base. So what I'm going to do is try and incorporate all of them on my face now, and see what we can, you know, where these would best go on my face. So let me have my information again. So basically I'm going in with the Pore Blur Primer, so this peach coloured one. So this is going to be quite a long video. I really wanted it to be a little bit shorter, but obviously I've got to give you as much information as I can about these. So as always with my videos, it's going to be quite long. So I'm just going to put a little bit on the back of my hand and squeeze that out just to see what that is like. But it's definitely the same colour as the tube, so it's peach based like that. Now what I'm going to do is just get my ring finger. Ooh, it's not a thin, like watery consistence. It's actually quite thick, like a thicker cream. And what I'm going to do is where I've got pores, I'm just going to brush that over, which is basically here. I think this is the area that everybody has their issues with pores. So down there, and then I think I'm going to squeeze a little bit more out. Just a tiny little bit more. I always prefer to squeeze out a little bit and more if I need to. A little bit on my chin, and then the excess I'm just going to pop on my nose there. Okay, so that is that one dealt with. Now I'm going in with the colour corrector. Now you can see that I've got a little bit of redness around my nose here. So again, I'm going to squeeze the green. So it is green, the same colour as the actual tube. And I'm just going to, again, with my ring finger, just pop this around my nose. And just tap it in like that. I've got a few like veins as well around this area. So I'm just tapping it on so that I don't completely rub it into the skin. And I've also got a vein here that I've always had. So just a little bit on there. And I think that will be fine. I'm just going to get a wipe so I can wipe the excess off. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, I'm now going to go in with this one, which is Hydrate. And I think what I'm going to do with this one is pop it onto my forehead. This is definitely more liquidy. The first one, the peach coloured container, the Pore refiner or Pore Blur. That was definitely the thickest out of the three. The colour correct in the green was a little bit looser, and then this one is much more liquidy, as you would expect. So again, I'm getting a bit on my ring finger, and I'm just going to pop it in the areas where I would like a little bit of moisture. Now my skin, wow, that feels lovely and cooling. Oh, I like that. Just going to pop it on there. I'm also going to pop it around here and around my mouth, wherever I want more moisture basically. So that one is complete now using the Hydrate. And then lastly, I've got the Mattify Primer. So I'm just going to squeeze a little bit of that out. Now this is the first one that is clear. So the rest tended to be the same colour as the packaging. This one is clear, and what I'm going to do with this one is I'm just going to pop it up here, so where I get oily. So I mean, of course you may not want to purchase all four of these. Obviously I'm demonstrating where I can pop them, but you only may need to use one or two perhaps, because obviously we don't have, I mean obviously I've used all four of them, but we don't necessarily all have you know, all four of those you know, problem areas. Anyway, that's all of the primers. I must say that they all feel absolutely fantastic. You can see the green there on my skin, so I'm really intrigued to see how these are going to work with my the rest of my makeup. Now of course the next step is going to be concealing, and I always use this. It's the Revolution. It's now the super size Conceal and Define. I'm very excited about this product because I love this so much. I do go through it quite quickly because the original, the smaller version, because I use it every single day. So I was absolutely thrilled when they sent this to me, the super size version. And what I would like to show you is how big the doe foot is. I absolutely love it, because what I can do now is just go like this, and basically it's applied. I just love it. I love that applicator. So now using my ring finger again, what I do is I tap it here and then just slightly drag it under the eye, and that gives me the best application. So just gently, and then I just tap the outside and then just press that into place on the inner part of the eye. I may need to add more, but at the moment that is absolutely fine. I'm just going to move that. Okay, I'm sure I had, yes I did, I had a clip here. I'm just going to clip my hair like that. Okay, again I'm just going to tap that in place, and then with my ring finger just gently take that around there, and also rub that slightly into that area. Perfect. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with the Revolution Conceal and Define Foundation, and I love it. Absolutely love this so much. Just going to pop that behind my ear for now. I must admit, where I've put the first primer, the Pore Primer, my pores on my chin certainly don't look as noticeable as they usually do. So very pleased with that. So now I'm just going to just taking my bracelet off there. So I'm just going to work that into the skin. can definitely see, I mean, this is such a good foundation anyway, and it covers everything, but I must say that that is definitely a more even coverage on my nose area. I've also forgot to cover my blemishes on my neck, so I'm going to use a little bit more of the green version. So I'm just going to get the colour correct on the back of my hand again. I knew that I wanted to cover something else, and again with my ring finger, just going over these like that. Just got a few, and I always get this when I've been using the oil now on my neck religiously now for the last few weeks. So basically I always, whatever skincare, new skincare I try, I always get a few blemishes, and then once the blemishes have gone, it's absolutely fine. But it's always been like that ever since I was a teenager. So I'm just now going to start working a little bit more of the foundation into my neck to cover up those spots and also give me an even finish depending on what I'm wearing. Obviously if I'm wearing a roll neck I wouldn't worry about doing this. Now that has covered up those blemishes perfectly. You can't see them at all. Sometimes this foundation, I mean, it's a brilliant foundation. You know, I can't say anything negative about it because I love it. It's my favourite. But with spots in particular, because they are quite red, I tend to find that I have to go over with the foundation a couple of times. But actually, because I put the colour correct on first, I mean, literally it's covered. You can't see those 3 pimples at all. So really pleased with those, with that. And that basically is the foundation applied. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going back to my under eye area. Now I always find that it creases a little bit, so I'm just going to tap that out, and I may have to do that again. But yeah, absolutely perfect. So far, my skin is looking flawless, isn't it? Fantastic. Very impressed. And if you can hear any noise, it's the wind going around the house. It's such a windy, not a very nice day here in Norfolk at all. So now what I'm going to do is set everything in place, and to do that I'm using this. It's the Profusion Cosmetics Contour Makeup Case. I'm obsessed with this. I've had to order another one. I've got a Profusion Cosmetics order to share with you that I picked up from when they had their 30% off. I'm using this now, which is the Real Techniques contour brush. My foundation brush is a kabuki, angled kabuki brush that I picked up from eBay. You can, if you just pop into eBay, kabuki foundation brush, these will come up, and I picked that up in a set of about 5, I believe. So now I'm going into the yellow shade within this palette, and I'm just going to pat out my eye again, and then just set my under eye. Now this concealer does crease, and obviously I'm looking up, I'm looking down. Usually I don't have to tap it out quite so many times, but I'm looking up to the camera, looking down again, so it is creasing. But you know, it does crease, but it covers what I want to be covered, so that's fine. I'm also just going to set this area. I'm also going to set this area and this area. This area always gets very dry, but it doesn't feel so dry today, and that of course is because of the Hydrate Primer. So obviously I'll give you my review at the end, but so far so good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm using the NYX fan brush, and I'm also using the Profusion Eye and Cheek palette, which I'm obsessed with, and I'm going in with, no I'm not going in with this at all. I'm getting carried away with my steps. I'm going in with the Contour palette. That's what I'm going in with, and I'm going in, and this is why I've had to purchase a secondary palette. Let me just remove the brush, and I basically, you can see I've hit pan very, very well there, and that is the shade that I use first of all to go around and contour my face, or bronze my face. So with the NYX fan brush, I'm just going to do that. Like I say, I am obsessed with these powders from Profusion. Blend so beautifully into the skin. Now, as always, I'm just going to bring the powder down. And I like this brush because you can use it so like that or like that. You know, it's such a good brush. It's quite expensive. I think it's about £13–14, but I've had it now for quite a while. It always washes up really, really well, and I just love it. It's quite a thick brush, but it's also a fan brush as well, so it really does work for these face products. I always, if you've not seen me apply these kind of products before, I never drag my skin. I always just tap the product on. It's just what works for me, and obviously I don't want to increase the risk of getting any wrinkles or lines or anything like that, so I'm just going to keep bouncing the product on until I'm happy. Now, if you make any if you have any product that comes too low, all you have to do is you can either use the banana powder and use it dry, or and I'm only gently doing that, or you can just do that with a foundation brush like that. So basically that is the contour applied. Now I always have two little round circles either side. I don't know why that is. I could try and fill them in, but I'd probably be here all day. I don't know why, but I know that a couple of you have contacted me and said that you have the same issue, so that really does make me feel good. With the same brush, I'm going into the next shade along, and right onto the edge of the brush I'm just going to contour the cheek a little bit, just like that. Okay, and on the other side. So gives the illusion that my face is a little bit more chiseled than what it actually is. Okay, so basically that is that palette. Now that's how I use that one. So the Profusion Contour palette. Now I'm going in with the Profusion Eye and Cheek palette. You can see I use this nearly every day. It's got finger marks all over it. So I'm going to get my Wilko blush brush, and I'm going in with this shade here. It's the middle shade. It's called Lush Blush, and I just love it. It's the one that I use nearly every day. So like that. I don't know why, but it always reminds me, the scent makes me think of those sweets, the Love Hearts. Oh, I just love it. So if I go overboard with the blush, and generally, you know, if I want to blend my blush in, I just go around the outside with my foundation brush and just blend it into the skin a little bit more. So it gives you that natural finish. like that. Also, I'm going to use a little bit of highlight as well. And I'm going back into the eye and cheek palette, and I'm using the highlight. It's the top highlight. Obviously, I'm showing it to you upside down, but it is the top one, and that is called Diamonds. I'm using my Revolution Flex brush for this. Just adding a little bit of this to the top. And of course, just tapping that in. Beautiful. Absolutely a stunning highlight. Okay, just going to take my clip out. So basically that is my base applied. I usually also add product onto my lid, but I always add that after I have applied my brows. So basically that is step one. That is my base applied. It's also using some brand new products from Revolution. They're primers. So I have used all 4 of these, and I'm now going to give you my thoughts. So the very first one I tried was the Pore Blur Primer. I must admit that this has worked so well on my chin. I have the largest pores on my chin, and I am so pleased. They actually look a lot more minimized than they usually do. Round here as well, they look more minimized, but certainly not as minimized as my chin. So I'm really impressed with that. Then what one did I use? The green one, the Correct and Fix Primer, the colour corrector. So I used this around my nose and on some blemishes on my neck. It worked amazingly. The redness around my nose, I'm not too worried about that particularly, because my foundation does cover that up. I've got a few veins around my nose and this one here. My foundation usually does cover that up, like I say, so I'm not too concerned about that. But blemishes, they're always an issue for me, because I tend to find that and you have quite a lot of oil, don't you, around blemishes and spots and things like that. But this has really helped, not only to cover so you can't see the spot or blemish, but it's also toned down, so it's toned down the redness, but it's also helped the foundation adhere to over the top of that blemish as well. So it's gone on in one stroke, rather than me have to layer tons and tons of product on, and you can clearly see that blemish then. So yeah, really impressed with that as well. Then I'm trying to do it in the order that I shared it with you. This is the Hydrate Primer, which was the next one, and I popped it here particularly, and this is a very dry area for me. It's usually the area that foundation tends to look a little bit, I don't know, powdery. It has that, it looks like you've got a lot of product on, but actually it feels very soft, very moisturized. So if you have any dryness that you want to get rid of, and also what I have found out from applying years and years of applying foundation for years and years, is that if you don't have a moisturized face, your foundation will not apply very well at all. It goes on quite patchy. So if you want to apply your foundation so it goes on in a nice even base, you might want to try this primer, but it's certainly gone on very smoothly there. And then the last one is the Mattify, the mattifying primer. Well, I popped that, where did I put that? Here. And it definitely has less shine. I actually put another one here, so you can see the shine there, but above it there's actually no shine where I applied this. So impressed with that, but obviously this one, time will tell, because obviously the oil will not build up on my skin. Although I must say that now I'm using the Revolution skincare, my skin is a lot less oily than it once was. So that is my base. Obviously, You'll need to keep tuned now for my brow routine for tomorrow, and then obviously my eye routine, my eyeshadow routine, or my eye routine, because not only will I be applying eyeshadow, it will be mascara and all of that. And then of course the last video will be applying the lips. So that's everything that I wanted to share with you today. Of course, I would love to hear your thoughts on my base. I would love to hear your thoughts on the new Revolution products. I would just once again mention that they do launch on the 2nd of January 2019. Every time I say that, I think, wow, are we really in 2019? Well, we will be in a week or so, won't we? So yeah, I'd love your thoughts on all of that. Will you be picking those up? Will you be trying them? And I do think, well, I used to think that base wasn't that important. The most important things were the eyeshadow, the lipsticks, the, you know, the bells and whistle that we add for, you know, colour and things like that. But actually, if you haven't got your base right, your whole makeup just doesn't look right. So yeah, that's everything that I wanted to share with you. Like I said, do keep those comments coming in. I love to hear from you. And of course, if you are brand new to my channel, I would love it if you subscribed to watch further videos. But as always, until tomorrow, thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Bye.